Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rocha, Kodash, Ma'amath. I want to give a double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders, as well as their bishops. Also, I want to give a double honors to my elder apostle, Aharawan Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den camp here in Jacksonville, Florida, as well as a double honors to my bishop of this camp, Kanaksan Ban Yasharala. Shalom to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Kharab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. And today I'll be coming out a lesson, and it's on this article that caught my eye, and it says Iran claims it's weighing strikes on IDF West Bank, Lebanon positions after ceasefire announced. So basically, just based off the title, I read the article, most of it, but based off the title, them Persians, them Iranians, they're doing the same thing that Esau do. Oh, we're going to agree to a ceasefire, whatever, and then attack again anyway. Let's continue. It says Iran's National Security Council said it had accepted the 2-week ceasefire while stressing that the war itself had not ended. And of course, the war ain't over. See, you know, President Babylon and his army, you know, his brigandine is was catching a lot of smoke over there. So this little 2-week ceasefire was somewhat of a breather. But then, you know, here lately, the bishop could not discount. He just did a lesson on it about your boy President Babylon walking back the threat to annihilate a whole, we'll say, well, not a whole, but we'll say a nationality of people. He walked that back, you know. So this is like this is really this whole thing is being handled very in a very piss poor way on Babylon's side. But let's continue. It says Iran launched missiles toward Israel on early Wednesday morning, and indicated that it would strike Israeli military positions in Lebanon and the West Bank hours after U.S. President Donald Trump announced a 2-week ceasefire involving the U.S., Israel, and Iran. Well, how many times have little Satan over there has struck the Iranian regime in or territory with attacks after agreements to stop doing said things was struck? Let's continue. It says the state-backed news agency, or Fars news agency, reported that Iran was weighing attacking IDF positions around the region. The regime continued attacks despite the agreement on all fronts, indicate that the United States is unable to control. You see it, because like I'm not gonna even address him because they're gonna be mad at me. But you see his name, or that the Central American Central Command has given the Zionist regime free rein for supported. This is earlier air raid alerts continued in Israel after the truce was announced, raising immediate doubts about whether the arrangement would hold. Why? It says also on Wednesday, the Bahrain Interior Ministry said that air raid sirens were activated across the country following an Iranian attack on its territory. The alarm siren had been activated. The citizens and residents are requested to remain calm, head to the nearest safe place, and follow the updates through the official channels, the Bahrain ministry said in a statement. Later on Wednesday, Bahrain confirmed the attack was carried out by Iran with a missile causing a fire without leaving anyone wounded. It says Trump said the ceasefire was tied to Iran halting attacks and allowing shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, with talks scheduled to begin in Islamabad on Friday under Pakistani mediation. Iran's Supreme National Security Council said it had accepted the 2-week ceasefire while stressing that the war was not over. It had not ended, warning that any further move by its enemies would be met forcefully. Despite that, missile alerts remained active after the ceasefire announcement. See the Lord got this devil scared. It says the ceasefire was challenged beyond Israel as well. Reuters reported an Iranian strike on Saudi Arabia's Jubail petrochemical area and missile alerts in the United Arab Emirates after the truce announcement, underscoring that the threat was regional from the outset and that the pause in fighting was already under strain. It says Israeli officials have expressed skepticism about the truce from the outset. It says, however, in the material reviewed, no clear attributable, however you say that, I think it's attributable, anyways, no clear new statement from Prime Minister office responding specifically to the post-ceasefire launches had been publicly confirmed. It says the White House also had not issued a detailed formal response in the reports, though the broadcast of the broader situation was described as fluid as regional actors waited to see whether the pause in fighting would survive its first day. The ceasefire followed weeks of direct confrontation involving Israeli and U.S. strikes on Iranian targets, repeated Iranian missile attacks across the region. Markets reacted positively to the announcement, oil prices falling sharply on hopes of de-escalation, even as continued alerts suggest the military picture remains unstable. So there you go. They said a ceasefire, and Iran probably went in on them again anyway. But here we go. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 1. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. When thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So that's what's going on. You got to think this devil has spoiled when he wasn't spoiled. He went over there and spoiled Iran way back in the 50s. Iran did nothing to Babylon. But woe to those who spoil and was not spoiled, and to those who deal treacherously and no one dealt treacherously with this devil. This devil is dealt treacherously with everybody else, when these other nations didn't deal treacherously with him. When these other nations were agreeing to meet at the table to reach agreements and to do business, to make life better for both parties, this devil was dealing treacherously. So guess what? Now it's going to come a point to when he ceases and stops to spoil, he's going to be spoiled. When he ceases to stop to deal treacherously, guess what? He's going to be dealt with treacherously by these other nations. And that could seem to be what has happened according to this article. They were like, yeah, we got to ceasefire, smack, and hit him again anyway. And probably hit him a couple of more times after that. Because the truth of the matter is, the Iranian country, the people, they see how Esau move. He'll say, oh yeah, let's do this and let's do that, and then turn right around and cross you wrong. Let's cease this fighting, then turn right around and launch an attack on you. That's how this devil does. But let's continue. I don't know who that is over there with that stupid blower, but I hope it blow dust back in their face. Let's continue. If y'all can hear, it's lucky. If you can hear, it's lucky. It's outside. There we go. It's lucky. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 6. verse 5. Salaki, verse 5. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. This is how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai power, who judgeth her. So, as this devil, his power structure that he is using is talking about, of course, his mountain, his destroying mountain. It says the sins of this place has reached unto the heavens, and the Lord has remembered the iniquities. And the Lord is referring to this wicked, sinful kingdom as a evil, cantankerous, loose woman. That's why it says her sins have reached unto heaven. It's talking about Babylon, but today's Babylon, in which we are at. The Lord has remembered the iniquities of this place. So it says, reward her even as she rewarded you. So the same thing that Babylon has been doing around the four corners of the earth to these other nations, as right now, as we see, it says, reward unto her as she rewarded. So she's going to get back. This place is going to get back what it dished out. It's going to get double. It says, and double unto her, double according to her works. We know what double is too. Ain't into no numerology or nothing like that, or no Kabbalism. But it says here, it says double unto her, double. The Lord repeated double 3 times in this verse. So Babylon America is going to get everything back that it is sown in the four corners of the earth. Or should I say, Edom is going to get everything back that they have sown in the earth. This devil has sown in the earth. This place has glorified itself and lived deliciously off the backs of other nations. So guess what? It says, so much torment and sorrow give her. So torment and sorrow is going to come to Babylon America. It is what it is. I'm trying to edit, but bump that. We in the end now. It is what it is. So torment and sorrow going to come to this place, because the rulership, the ones who running the show, and the people, but mainly the rulership and this devil in particular, has thought that this place cannot be taken down. It cannot be attacked. Well, the Lord finna show that that's gonna happen. That's why it says here, it says, for she saith, in her heart I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. You got to think, because this place is surrounded by water on 3 sides, that we can't be touched. Okay, let's go here real quick. Let's go back. Let's go to Obadiah. Where we at? Verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So woe to thee, to this devil. His pride has deceived him. He thinks because he dwells in a place that's not easily accessed by land, you have to come by sea or by air, that I'm in a place where I can't be touched. This devil habitation is high. He think because he just so high in power, he just think he just so high and mighty. He think in his heart that he can't be brought down, that the Lord can't touch him, or he can't be touched. That's the mindset. That's the Babylonian American mindset. We all of that in a bag of chips and some. We can't nothing happen to this. Can't nothing nowhere. Nah. Sorry, but this place has been severely weakened by Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua, and it's going to continue to weaken. Verse 4, it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Jehovah. So it don't matter what this devil do, how much power he think he got, even though he didn't rose himself up and think he just so high and mighty and lifted up, the Lord said he gonna bring him down. Now let's go back to Revelation. This is Revelation again. This is Revelation chapter 7. Chapter 18, verse 7. It says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So this devil has thought in his mind, with his regime, his destroying mountain that he has in the earth, that it would never ever be taken down. This devil's, he think in his heart that his power is going to continue forever, that he's going to exist from generation to generation to generation and stay in wickedness. Think ain't no sorrow gonna come to this place. No, that's not true. The Lord says in verse 8, therefore her plague shall come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall utterly be burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai power, who judgeth her. So the stuff that the Lord gonna bring on Babylon, America, that we've been seeing happening around the four corners of the earth, it's gonna hit this place all at once, and it's gonna happen quick. It's going to be back to back to back to back to back. That's why the Lord says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. I mean, it's going to hit boom, 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 all at once, back to back. And eventually, guess what? This place is going to be utterly burnt with fire. We're seeing the Lord further put this devil's head into the stirrup, a trap where he can't get it out. The more this devil try to do things, guess what? The deeper he get into debt, the deeper he sink into the mud. So yeah, we'll see how long this ceasefire happens. But you know, Iran got Babylon's number, and with that, shalom. Well,